Later. Durag Diaries, man like George is here with us. How are you, mate?
I'm very good. I'm very, very well. I mean, one thing I will say, and Terry, because we spoke about this on Monday. Now that's how you get a deal done. So I'm just saying, 9 days was that? What between the first time the news broke between Kudus and Spurs having some interest and getting a fee agreed. I saw a counter today on Twitter, 36 days, 12 hours. Something minutes since you guys made your first bid and Ornstein released the news. But we're doing some good business, innit? Quite clearly, we're doing some good business. Hey, my man Jacob. It's good to have Jacob up here as well. You know, the two Spurs fans that are always singing our praises. We're making some good moves, and it fills me with confidence. I'm not going to lie. Kudus, a really, really good deal. £55 million. I can't lie. It's a strong deal. Going down from that £85 million release clause. Considering they're one of our rivals, and we heard there's going to be a Tottenham tax per se. I don't know what tax there was because they rejected a £50 million bid to accept a £55 million bid. So seems like they seemed rather desperate. We saw the news come out that they needed to have money in before next week. And hey, Daniel Levy done Daniel Levy thing done, and he got us a good deal. A solid one at that, man.
It must feel nice as well getting him off West Ham at such a low price. I heard they were turning down bids of 80 million a year ago and asking for 100 million. And, you know, you've ended up getting him 55 from, you know, the best, well, barring Bowen, the second best player at West Ham at a cut price. That must also make it feel a little sweeter.
Definitely. And we have a good record signing players from West Ham. Whenever we don't go there often, but whenever we do, there's always solid players coming through. So, like you said there, to get the deal done for the price that's been quoted, it shows that we've fleeced them, and I'm seeing that you've had these group of West Ham fans that will tell you, "Oh, Kudus was rubbish last season," but then at the same time, you've got the rest of them that are trying to do protests about this deal. Kudus the Judas, they're calling him, and I'm here for it. You know, I'm on the other side of it now. And it feels good. It feels good. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet it does. Jacob, how are you feeling about it, mate? Obviously, I was saying to Kate, it's been a bit of not a turbulent summer. I wouldn't use those words, but, you know, a number of players you've looked at, Eze and Burmo, etc., that you could Semenyo, and for one reason or another, you couldn't get them done. But you've ended up with what I believe to be a real stellar player.
Oh, absolutely. Apologies about the audio. I'm here with the kids, but I'm too dang excited about Mohamed Kudus. I can't lie. When West Ham originally signed him for less than we signed Brennan Johnson for, I was very upset and I was very salty, and a lot of other Spurs creators had to console me about that. So the fact that we've got him damn near around the same price as Brennan Johnson is fantastic. And there was something you were talking about, I think, in regards to Arsenal earlier about the price tag of average players being that 50 million ish. And I think it's pretty close to that already, if not, because at least from a Tottenham perspective, you look at Richarlison and Brennan Johnson, two forwards who no one wants to start for us. I mean, 60 and 55 respectively. I think that the price has gone up in that regard. But in regards to Kudus as a player, I think he instantly joins and becomes our best dribbler of the ball. I think he instantly comes in and is our most dangerous forward. Maybe not in front of goal or in the final third, but as far as taking a man on with the ball, runs in behind, beating multiple people, I'm just so excited. This is a player, again, that I've admired for some years. I was pretty upset when West Ham got him. I was pretty salty myself. So it's very nice to see the other side of the steak being flipped here with these West Ham fans. I was on Lawless's channel earlier. He had about 600 people, and I think it was about 580 Tottenham fans in there. You're salty. You're salty. It was fun. I was having fun. I was joining in, too.
I bet he is. It shows, he's in the group chat. He's in the Straight Facts group chat, and he's not happy. He's not happy. I was just going to check then. He ain't happy. No, look, it's a really good bit of business. And look, I always say this as well, like, I wish I wasn't a Man United fan saying this, because, again, people are, you're just deflecting. But it's true. Sometimes you can go from feeling desperate about the transfer window to being over the moon in the space of a few days. Equally, what you spend on players, your perspective may change based on what other players cost and what other teams spend and what they get for that money. Because I agree with you, getting Kudus for 55 million, when Kudus for me is better than Elanga. I know Elanga had better output this year, but I put that down to the structure and the system in that team he was in was better. Put Elanga in that West Ham team, that disorganization, I don't think he performs in the same way. When you consider that Elanga's gone for 55, Madueke, if he goes, it's going to be the same price. To get Kudus at that level, I'm even looking at Cunha and Mbeumo with their output and their quality and thinking low 60s. It's starting to look like a much better deal than maybe you initially think it is. And I get everybody has their own personal feeling of, well, how much is a player worth? How much do I think they're worth? But then you have to look at it objectively and look at the market. And I think when you look at your deal, it represents fantastic business all round. I think he'll score a lot of goals. He'll create. He'll be a thorn in the side. And when you eventually get Kulusevski back, I mean, them two, the way you could utilize them, and it doesn't really matter, one starts in the 10 and one starts in the right, the freedom and the interchange they could have could, for you, like, it's beautiful. For me, it's disgusting.
Another thing you mentioned, too, was how bad the window started. We got denied by Rooney Bardigi, who ended up going to Barcelona. We got denied by Leroy Sané. We were getting denied left and right. And I was like, dang, Thomas Frank looked a little dangerous, like a mayonnaise sandwich. And now it's like 55 million, you're getting a player that obviously for me, I know that I've seen a lot of people kind of 50-50 on it. There's some West Ham fans who think, yeah, he'll be good for a game, then he won't be good for 10 games after that. We've got plenty of those. And I do agree with you in the sense of the structure at West Ham was a lot different. I mean, they sacked and hired a new manager in the middle of that season. They're not playing Champions League ball. They never play Champions League ball. That I've learned that from Lawless today. And apparently Tottenham fans are embarrassing because we're happy about Kudus playing Champions League. Let the man go. Free Kudus. He wants to play in the highest competition you can in Europe. And these West Ham fans are upset that we're going to help him do that. And I understand. But for me, I just think that this is a guy, again, instantly comes in, has to start, not only has to start, but becomes the most dangerous player with the ball at his feet. I'm through the moon with this signing. You get a visa, you get a six, the defensive midfielder. I think we're good. I think that's a good window. That's perfectly for what Frank wants. And the names that you've also mentioned, Kudus is the one that I wanted over all of them. So for me, this is just kind of the perfect situation.
That's exactly how I feel, Jacob. Because, when Terry said that, you said Semenyo, you said Eze, Mbeumo. Apart from Mbeumo, because I'm not going to lie, Mbeumo's just, I think, probably the best.
Yeah, it's hard to deny his
It's
output.
hard to deny Mbeumo. Yeah, he's probably the best right winger in the league last season, barring Salah.
Yeah.
I think away from him, I was more happy about Kudus. Just looking at the profile, the signing, what Spurs need, he's the perfect one. For me, I look at him and I say he's the player that could become Mbeumo, because you look at what Frank's done with him over the years, 4 or 5 years he worked with Mbeumo and Visser as well. And steadily, year on year, they all got better. They both got coached.
Well, but why not better?
Because got better.
George, where was Mbeumo?
Wait, why? What's his name? Oh, Tommy the trash can. Oh no!
Hey, no, my little Tommy gun. Come on,
yeah,
now ain't no trash can Tommy anymore. Hey, we got
Kudus. Not trash can Tommy anymore.
In all realisticness, I've been very pessimistic and overly sarcastic for the greater part of 3 weeks in regards to Tottenham, Thomas Frank, and all that. But it's instantly got me back. I'm hyped. I'm so excited for the season. I don't care that it's Frank anymore. I don't care if we sacked Ainge after, achieving something we ain't achieved in 41 years. But whatever, I'll get over that part. I just think that this is something even fans like me who are still kind of, not optimistic, not really looking forward to the season, kind of just going to go through the motions. This gives me something really excited to look forward to be honest. Because, again, his days at Ajax and even what he did at West Ham in a very poor West Ham side. You just look at the versatility. He can play on the left, the right. He can play in the 10. I think even West Ham threw him in that striker there a little bit, him and Bowen. So I think this is just an all-around great signing for Tottenham, and especially for people like myself who weren't necessarily overly positive or overly hyped for the season. Now we got something really, really beautiful to look forward to. And I just hope we get another of this level or in and around this level of signing, because, we announced Koto Takai, which I've lamented. He's the Japanese Virgil van Dijk. And number one, when you look at all his stats compared to other J-League U23s, that's just a specific, though, that he's the Virgil van Dijk of Japan. And I love that. So, but we need more of this type of signing, and I think there is
that. But I also think what you've got to factor in, a lot of your players' levels are going to increase next year, because I think you've got a better Premier League manager, a manager that understands the Premier League, will adapt depending upon who he's playing. Brentford are always defensively sound, but have great counter. So as long as you add the speed into your attack, and Visser Visser and Kudus are that. You've already got Son as an example, and Solanke's no slouch. Brendan Johnson. You look at the way you're going to play under him. I think you're going to have a very good season. I really, really do. I don't think. But say with United, I don't think either of us had the 15th and 17th worst squads in the league last season. I really don't. And you've changed managers. You bought well so far, so I think you'll have a good season.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know what it goes back to, Terry? Again, something we spoke about on Straight Facts on Monday is getting these players in early. If you're going to get a marquee signing, I think you can get, like when we spoke about Arsenal, if you get a Norgard later in the window, nobody cares. It's fine when you get these players in. But when you get a big signing right now, you can see what it's doing to the fan base already. Like, it gives us that confidence going into the season already. You're like, okay, we've seen all these moves recently, the whole coaching team that's been hired, about 9 or 10 new coaches and staff in Tottenham. So it's like, okay, we're making the right moves. And then you see, marquee signing done 1 week after July. We all know our transfer window opens on the first
preseason game, George.
Before the first preseason, and not even that, we've just started preseason training this week. So he's pretty much going to go into preseason training next week, fresh with the team, get a whole 4 or 5 weeks.
Half our team ain't even there yet, too. That's what I'm saying. This actually shows intent from a club standpoint that we're moving a little bit different. And that's really all I've been asking for from that European win, which was to now do something with that and actually get players in for the new manager that he wants. He came out and said that this was a key signing for him. And I put it all on Levy saying, if you don't get this done, that's another failed manager, in my opinion. Because as much whether anyone's opinion on Frank is this or that, it don't matter in regards to how this club will treat them. Look at Jose.
I'll tell you what I do like about the Kudus news is it might mean Chelsea come back in for, and this is the thing, Chelsea fans, this is why as well, maybe it's just my way because I believe in tempting fate. Chelsea fans should maybe calm down a little bit when it comes to the element of winding up Arsenal, because they might come back in for Garnacho now they're not getting Kudus. So it's like slow down. But I don't know if you guys saw it. We were live, me, Hussam, and Mo, and one of our longest standing Spurs fans who's watched us for about 7 or 8 years put in a member chat and said, I really hope that Baldy hurries up with Kudus. We read it out. The second I said the last word, Kudus out, Ornstein tweeted saying it was done. It was freaky. It was so.
You know what's even funny about that as well, because I had done my stream today, and my stream was, "Where are the signings?" I was going mad, and all of a sudden, Kudus comes in, and I'm like, "All right, sharp."
Nick here with a super chat says how quickly a fan base can change an opinion on a window. But that's one of the only things to me, and it's just maybe I wouldn't say it's a fear of being clipped up, because I get clipped up every day. I get put by KJ of all people, and I pay him to clip me up. But it's this element of maybe it's my age. I'm just someone that doesn't like to show my hand. Even if I'm feeling something, I'm like, I'm going to keep it in a little bit, right? Because you said earlier, you've seen that count ticker now that United fans are putting out, like 36 days. It's Man United fans who started that. It's like you're creating rivals, you're creating the banter for rivals to attack us with. My view is keep your powder dry. That's all it really is for me. Kudus is a great signing for Spurs. Arsenal, well, you'll never walk alone. Congrats on Kudus. How's Romero looking, is what Sar says here.
I've seen news saying that he's not going anywhere and nothing's been agreed. He's not, all the news, Atletico Madrid are pretty much going to give up at this moment in time unless he forces a move out.
I actually think if I was to get in his ear right now, I'd say, listen, give it a year under Frank and see how you feel. I honestly would say that to him. I think he could be, hello, little one. I see a little in there. Just see these little eyes just appear. My kids come in and do that. Just see these little eyes appear. Garnacho to Chelsea, Watkins to United. That's Nick Carter, who's actually a Chelsea fan. Listen, I'd take Watkins. We ain't getting anyone better than that. And listen, to have 3 of last season's top 8 top 8 scorers in the Premier League in our team, I wouldn't moan. Aboud here says, people saying it's all on Arteta, but I don't believe he is dumb enough to shoot himself in the foot knowing this is a do or die season. KSE need to go. Yeah, look, I think some of it's on it. Like, I look at this, but I don't think Berta's in complete control. I don't think Arteta's in complete control. It's been very well documented. It's a debate and it's an argument, and as a collective, they're making this decision. And I think you'll know by the results of these players they bring in. If they bring in players and they're bad, but the board back Arteta, that's maybe an indication. I mean, it could be an indication he's in control. Fair. It could also be an indication, shit, mate, we messed up. We should have listened to you. We bought duds. Yeah. I think it's about being open-minded when that happens, but there's definitely pressure on him. I'm a United fan, Terry. Oh, thanks. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of a different Nick. Sorry, I'm thinking of a different Nick. There's a different Nick. Is Nick something else? It's not Nick Carter. It's a different Nick, but he has the same N with the pinkish square. So sorry, I thought it was him. Maybe his name is Nick Carter as well. You know.
Oh,
Anyway.
Backstreet Boys has a guy in their band named Nick Carter. So.
Yes, Nick Carter. Absolutely. Look,